Good morning. Good morning. I hope everyone is having a great day. Uh, so Chad is on vacation, so I'm running the show today. So I would like to introduce you to a very dynamic team leader. She's a very strong team leader. She started her career with KW as an agent. She was Rookie of the Year, and then she leaped into leadership to go about opening various market centers throughout New Jersey. So I'd like to introduce everyone to Mary Beth Olive, who is currently the team leader of Keller Williams Prosperity in Wayne, New Jersey. Good morning, Mary Beth. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Southwest, right?
Yes. Keller Williams
Awesome.
Southwest.
Well,
Hey,
good morning.
good. Just for geography's sake, Wayne, New Jersey, what's that close to? What large city or what's it close to?
So Wayne, New Jersey is in the northern part of New Jersey, and
Okay,
it's about 30 minutes outside of Manhattan.
okay,
And yet Wayne is also only an hour from the Jersey Shore and 2 or 3 hours from the southern tip of New Jersey. New Jersey's real small, so you get to go skiing, you get to go to the beach, you get to go to New York, Atlantic City, and Philadelphia, all if you choose.
Oh, wow. Excellent. You know, I grew up in Philadelphia, so I'm familiar with Atlantic City and all of that, the South Jersey Shore, not so much about North Jersey. So appreciate you coming on and spending time with us. So just for clarity's sake, maybe you can kind of share some of your background and your journey with
Sure.
Keller Williams.
Sure. So, as Keith said, I started with Keller Williams as my first company into the industry in 2004. I came from the restaurant business, so I was 23 years old. I was an artist. I went to college for sculpture. I landed back at the restaurant, and God definitely chose this path for me. And I plunged in 2004, looking for a company that offered training and a great compensation package. And what I found was something that totally molded my life. I think that could have happened at any age. I was just very blessed to have had that happen at 26 when I got into the business. So I found Keller Williams in New Jersey. It was not in New Jersey. There were only a few offices, maybe 10 offices in the state of New Jersey in 2004. So we
Okay.
had a challenge of Keller Who. That wasn't a company of choice at that time. And I know, throughout the history of Keller Williams, all different regions have had their story. And I think that's one thing is telling our story. And as an individual agent, you need to tell your story, because if you're not, somebody else is.
Right.
And so I started with KW as an agent. You can see I have my MREA book behind me. That is my original book. It is in shreds. I use it as a Bible, as a manual. And I started the business and grew it into a small team within my first 4 years.
Okay.
Had an assistant, had a buyer's agent, had a showing agent at the time. Showing agent was the way to go. It had just been introduced by Gary. And we had been looking for a team leader in the office. We had gone through 4. I was the 5th team leader in just a few years.
Okay, well, let me
And
stop you. Let me stop you. So what you're saying is you followed the MREA to the letter to build your team.
yes,
Okay.
I did. And at the time, I wanted to go bigger. I wanted to go beyond 4th level. And
Okay.
yet, I had to really reassess. There was a leadership path that was put in front of me. And the choice was, does Mary Beth go and grow the biggest team with the best service to service all my clients? Or does Mary Beth go and lead an office to help agents service clients? And I felt exponentially I could help more people being in that leadership role.
Okay. All right.
I will say it is not for everyone. It is a lot of responsibility, accountability. Accountability is something that I had to kind of get okay with after a few years being in the role, because it was a very highly accountable. Track your calls, track your contacts to appointments, to sign-ons, to net and gross. And that is something that I want to talk about a bit, because agents, if you could get there sooner than I even got there with the accountability piece, that is what is going to take you to that next level. Um,
I'd like for you to expound on that if you can.
yes, and I will. And so I took the first office that I took on was in my backyard. It's where I learned how to sell real estate. It's where I grew up. It's the houses I knew. And I will share with you, before I took the leadership role, back to being an agent, when I applied the lead generation model into my business, it was not to take on the entire community. It was start with these 80 houses.
Okay.
And so I started with what I knew best, which was the neighborhood, which was the street I actually lived on. And I just want to lay this groundwork in this conversation is, of those 80 homes in my 4 years of selling, I sold 13 of those homes.
Okay.
And so it really worked. I mean, I expanded off of those 80 into the whole community, into the township of Manalapan, because my mother was a teacher there. My father drove the buses. My sister and I went to school there. It was what we knew.
Right.
And I started small and I went deep. And that's something that I do want for us to hear today is go deep, because
Okay.
we have enough business literally, 4 blocks to the right, to the left around us than we can even handle. We're just so looking for that shiny object somewhere else that I believe it's in our own communities that we can really make a huge impact in this temperature.
Okay, excellent. All right. And so before we get into the meat of it, let me ask for everybody here, tell us about your marketplace. Kind of describe it for us and let us know what's going on there.
So in our marketplace, New Jersey is highly densely populated.
Right.
So Keith and I spoke prior to this. I live in a different area than where I work. I live about an hour south in New Jersey, and an hour south in New Jersey is like 6 hours in Texas. We are a train community. We are a lot of multifamilies and apartment complexes here. We also have a waterfront. My market where I live is hot. We cannot keep any multifamily on the market. We've seen an increase in price year over year by about 30% in some products.
Wow.
Yeah, in some products, our $300,000 houses are now going for $400,000 because of demand.
Okay.
And that's the investor market inside of the market that I live in. Inside of the North Jersey market, we're experiencing a lot of the same in those multifamily markets. In Wayne, New Jersey, which is where our market center is located, it's more of people live there, they stay there, they move from townhouse to single family to they stay in their house for 30 years.
Okay.
And what we're experiencing there, because of the time, a lot of people are choosing to retire. They are choosing to, sell this house and go down to Florida or Georgia, South Carolina, where they have a house already.
Okay.
We also see a lot of people selling their second homes.
Wow.
Because in New Jersey, you do escape. You go up to the Poconos. In Pennsylvania, you go to New York's Catskill. You go away. So we see a lot of opportunities on referrals as well.
Okay.
But we are seeing in your traditional 4-bedroom home, which would be about $450,000, $500,000 in our market, thousand. We're seeing anywhere from 3 offers to 18 offers.
Wow. That is
So it is seller's market. It is a seller's market.
Okay, so even with that, what was the effects of COVID-19 on your market?
So when we look overall, we did take a huge dip in April and May on units and activity. One of the really great measures, and I know you probably have access to it also, is showing time.
Yes.
So if you look at the showing time tracker, you'll see we just bottomed out April and into May on showings, which of course would then slow down the offers. But we did see virtual showings, and that wasn't always tracked through showing time.
Okay.
So our units closed is down about 20%. In some markets 30, and in some only about 10.
Okay.
So we do see a dip in units. Prices have gone up. So I would guess, because I love studying the numbers, I would guess we might even level out in volume closed.
Okay.
Or just fall a little short.
Right.
Because we're going to pick up some volume closed in those units because of overbidding.
Okay. All right. So what I'm hearing is a couple things. Showings dipped, prices went up, inventory's tight. Am I missing another variable in that picture?
No, just buyer agents have to be real sharp. I mean, you need to know what you're doing. And I was speaking to somebody at church who was working with her sister, and I said, you know, with all respect, is your sister in it full time? Does she have her finger on the pulse? Because if she doesn't, I would offer her a referral. And guys, listen to this, because there are people out there playing in this market that are doing the clients a disservice. So you say, I would rather offer them a referral, and I will take you on, because, you know, dropping the appraisal, coming in with all of your deposit money up front, coming in with a pre-commitment, not a pre-approval, a pre-commitment that I just got to find the house and give them the taxes and the actual contract price, and we can close in 3 weeks. Those are little tactics that you're going to need. And I'm sorry, but an agent who doesn't have somebody that can show them the way and the skillful way of winning multiple offers, you're probably going to lose that client anyway, because they're going to lose faith in you, because they're not going to get a house.
Right.
So, you know, that's the only other piece.
Right. And when it's tight market like that, you're absolutely right. You have to, in the shift book, what is it? Bulletproof your transaction.
Bulletproof your
And that's part of
transaction.
bulletproofing your transaction, making sure you walk in knowing that the demand is high with all those bullets in your gun to give you the best shot of winning that transaction. So thank you for that. Is your marketplace fully open?
It is. Our agents that have private offices are coming into the office and working
Not
with.
so much the market center, just like, I know you guys, the East Coast really locked down with COVID-19. So where are you guys with all that?
We're open. We are open. Masks are just normal, and you know, limiting people, but we are open for the most part. I don't think the gyms are open.
Okay.
You know, some of the CrossFit gyms and the private gyms are still doing stuff outside, and yoga gyms and stuff. I think that's probably the only thing that is not officially open. Everything else is open.
Okay.
But I do see that people are less social. They don't, you know, we've been now conditioned over a couple of months to not be that kind of physical social. So it's been an interesting time to just, and this is my message to the agents, is get deep with your database. People that are truly in your circle, how can we help them? And it's not necessarily going to even be for them to buy their house that they need to live in. What I'm finding is there's a lot of conversation around investment and how to build wealth through real estate, not necessarily save your way to wealth, because that's almost impossible.
Right.
We have to invest our way in assets that will actually create a cash flow, but we have to have clarity with what our goal is.
Exactly.
And you know, I want to say this because I think over the last few years, I personally have realized, and I've been in it 16 years, I've gone through all of New Jersey. I've gone to the top of the state to the bottom of the state in opening and helping market centers create models and systems that would last to create profit. I was also in Brooklyn and Staten Island. So I got a taste of the New York market. And I can just say that we have to have clarity as to what's the end game, because while we're in this industry, it's really sexy. It's really, you know, you want to talk about it. You're a real estate agent. There's something to it. But the reality is, it could burn you out, number one. You could be working and not get what you're really looking for. And if you stay in the fame of taking listings and buyers and the Instagram and the Facebook, that's wonderful. And for the first few years, that might be great. But what are you working towards? Are you truly designing a business? And if you're designing a business, you're already thinking about what's the admin core look like for your business?
Right.
What does your referral network look like? Who are your affiliates that you give business to and you expect business from?
Exactly.
You know, so I just want to encourage everyone that this is a time where if you're going to stay in this industry, now is where you get serious about owning a business, because you are your own CEO. Even if you just got your license yesterday, you're your own CEO.
Excellent.
Keith is not going to go take a listing for you tomorrow.
I got a quick question for you. What's the adoption rate of Command in your market center?
Very high.
Very high. Okay.
Okay. Why is it very high? Because all of my ALC, which are my top agents in my market center, and the other top agents in the market center that are not on ILC have embraced it.
Okay.
And they're generating listing leads, they're generating buyer leads, they're selling their own listings before they even hit market with some of the advertisement that they're doing.
Okay.
I believe that sometimes people need, well, a lot of times people need to see others have success in things. And it was real important to have our top agents embrace it.
Okay.
So we are actually looking to create some systems in the office where agents that are not excited about it are still going to be able to benefit from it.
Gotcha.
And so if there are top agents that are listening to this call, you may think about, there might be extra leads that you could even generate, and you could be a referral network for some of those agents that you so cared about to bring into the company, but maybe aren't generating leads the way you are, and charge a referral fee for it.
Excellent. Excellent.
It's a business within a business.
Excellent. Okay, I wanted to go there. I don't want to lose topic, so let's get back to our meat of the whole discussion. As far as the message you're giving to your agents about, okay, we made it through COVID, or at least we're working our way through it. We have some way to deal with it. How do we make the best of the second half of 2020? What is your message to make the best of 2020 going forward?
Sure. So I'm just going to share my screen for 1 second. Not going to spend too much time on this, but I did give this to Keith, and I want you to see this here. This is our economic model. This comes straight out of the MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent Red Book. And there's also resources on Keller Inc., KELLERINK.com. Tons of resources there. But this here is a working economic model that if you were to say, I'd like to make an extra, 200,000, have clarity, you have August, September, October, November, 4 months, because you cannot count December to make that money. You can count it for activities, but 4 months to make whatever money you're going to make. So if you said, I would like to earn 250,000, it's going to cost me about 50,000 because I have the rest of my cap money, I have an admin I pay. You're gonna have to do some thinking right there. But if you said, I want to bring in an extra 250, what is that going to look like? Is 50% of it going to come from sellers? Now, if I said 60% was going to come, it will actually change for you. But you're going to look here and say 50% of my business should come from sellers. Because in this market, wherever we are in the world, you can generate buyer leads off of seller listings. And if you say, well, my average price is not 300,000, it's 350, you can pop that in here and you can play. At the end of the day, if you were looking at 250, this chart just says you would have to take 23 seller appointments. You'd have to book 23 seller appointments. So I want you to work your chart and figure out clarity. How much more money are you going to make in the next 4 months? Maybe it's 100,000, maybe it's 2, maybe it's 4. Right. Then you're going to work this economic model to say, how many appointments do I need to be on for my seller appointments? Figure out that left side. When you can say, I need to be on 20 seller appointments in the next 4 months. Now you can say, I need to be on 1 listing appointment every single week for the next 20 weeks. Mm-hmm. Now you can start to create daily activities that you need to do in order to get those appointments. And command is one part of it. Having a 135, which 135 is one objective. So if your one objective is going to be, I'm going to make 200,000 by the end of the year. That's the one objective. What are the 3 things you need to accomplish that? Well, listings, marketing, and something else. I don't know. It's going to be something personal. Events. For me, it's always events.
Okay.
If I could put myself in front of a whole bunch of people, I'm sure I can capture a few of them.
Okay.
Okay. And for some people, they're more personal. Like, I want to do some coffee talk. I want to invite 5 people out of my database for coffee every week. So now, once you identify how many appointments and you realize through the lead generation model, you're going to need to be talking to people. You need to identify what are the different ways that you connect with people.
Right.
Are you a Facebooker? Are you a text messenger? Do you get responses from email? Should you just pick up the phone? Do you go to the gym? Are you at church networking? Do you host a buyer or seller seminar? Just a home ownership seminar. If you go into the KellerInk.com, there is the MREI. There's an investor seminar.
Okay.
You could download that PowerPoint and you could alter it to take out whatever slides, make it a five slide PowerPoint.
Okay.
There's what's called your first home book. Your first home book, I believe it's sold out right now, because so many people are having first time homebuyer seminars virtually. You could have 300 people on a virtual seminar. If you get a listing, using that listing in a virtual way so that you are also having a live stream open house where people can view, and you got somebody manning the Zoom,
Right.
you know, putting yourself in front of people. One other thing I really want to encourage though is, when was the last time you truly saw a market snapshot sent to your own door? Like, I have no idea what's going on in my neighborhood if I wasn't a real estate agent.
Right.
I have a few houses, none of them get mail, that tell me what is going on in the market. With COVID, I would think that so many people are wondering, did my value go up? Did my value go down? And how about this nugget? Mr. Seller, you have so much equity in your home. Have you ever considered have you ever considered refining at an FHA? The FHA is below 3%, right? So many people can refi. Or have you ever taken an equity line, let's say, let's pull this 40,000, let's go buy an income property that will generate X amount a month, and then it's a 15-year, and you're helping people. They have no retirement plan. So I'm finding conversations inside of all the tools that were given through Keller so valuable. And community service. One of the things, so if anybody knows me, I love feeding the homeless. And I am in Perth Amboy because I was called to come here to purchase a home that I turned into a faith-based women's transitional home.
Excellent.
That right there puts me in the path of people who want to give back, people who want to, you know, rally up for a cause. And right there, everybody needs a house to live in. Right. So when you find yourself doing something passionate, you will automatically you know, attract the right people into your world. And then keeping an awesome database inside Command and using those smart plans and using those neighborhood nurturers is absolutely what you need to be doing right now to set yourself up for a fantastic rest of the year.
Mary Beth, you dropped some really major nuggets here, and it sounds like you're coming from contribution within the Keller Williams, the MREA system. You're reaching out to your database, informing them, providing ideas that they can use to help grow their wealth, and then your personal mission to help feed the hungry. It's not intentional, but it's playing into building your business. So,
absolutely.
Hey, hats off to you.
Great. You know what, Keith? You know what it's turning into though? There's a gentleman, I'm sure many of us know Bowman Kitty. Yes. Bo is a fantastic, amazing leader in our company, and he has what's called what is his company? Is it Momentum? I forget what it's called. We're gonna figure that out. However, what his thing is, it's an urban redevelopment. Right. So I watched him, and I sat there and watched him bringing in a guy who helps small business owners in the community. Okay. But the reason he's doing that is they're going to buy the real estate, and they're going to buy the old theater down the road, and they're going to rehab that, and they're going to buy some more investment properties and make them nicer luxury apartments. And so think about where you could truly make a difference in your community and add value because you love your community and you're a realtor and you can make a difference. You can market it properly. You could have events online showing how the neighborhood has increased in value. I mean, there's so much you can do in your own community that we're always just looking for something. It's right there, our own family and our own community. Exactly. And I have to say thank you to Martin Weldon, who put me in touch with you, who is from that group. So Empower is the name of the group, for sure. So thank you so much, Mary Beth. Okay. Is it okay that I can share? Can I share this this table, this calculation table for the economic model with our Absolutely. I also sent you another link, and I do want you to share that because yesterday, and I know Keith, you were on, I interviewed with Linda McKissick. Yes. Linda McKissick has been our top profit share earner in the company ever since I've been with us.
Right.
She broke the $1 million a year about 8 years ago. Her and her husband made over $1 million in just the passive opportunity with profit share. They're at about 1.4, 1.6 now. I share with you a link that just showcases all of our outfront stories, little parts of the culture of the company, the financial aspect of the company. But there's a link there for our agents to share so that we're sharing an opportunity to change other agents' lives.
Right.
It's not recruiting, it's sharing. And I would say that would be the other thing I would tell all of your agents is while you're building your business, be kind, treat people right, identify a few good people you'd like to work with you,
Right.
and introduce them to Keith or other, your team leader.
Excellent.
Build your downline.
Excellent. So thank you so much, Mary Beth. I wish you much
right.
success, and we'll definitely keep in touch.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's keep it moving. Let's bring on our very own Mike Wong, who is running for candidate for 2021 HAR Board of Directors and a commercial member. So let's bring on Mike Wong. Hello, Mike. Let me unmute you. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Keith. How are you?
Good, good. So glad to have you on. First and foremost, I'm just glad that you're part of our office, okay? Everybody in our office knows how committed you are to not just helping us in the office, as you're committed to helping the community, your volunteer outreach during Harvey, any of the floods. And just so recently, Shred Day, when we were collecting canned goods and shredding documents, you know, people were coming up with bags and canned goods. I was there for an hour, hour and a half. You're the only one I saw show up with a trunk full of canned goods and non-perishables. So we know where your heart is. Tell us about, you running for this position with HAR. What's your message and what are you looking to accomplish?
Well, first of all, just thank you for the opportunity. And, I appreciate the kind words, and that's just a reflection of the culture in our office. Let me turn on my desktop volume here. So I'm running for commercial director this year, and this is a position I've thought about for some time. Ever since I was a new agent, I've looked at that ballot and I've looked at, that HAR page, and I've seen people up there, and I thought, one day I want to be there. But I want to make sure I had the experience, the qualifications, the understanding of the position and what our industry needs. So I feel like, being involved with Texas Realtors as a board of director, serving on various committees, being involved as chairman of the Asian American Real Estate Association, and just various levels of real estate associations, I feel like I've got a good understanding of the position, the role, and how to kind of move forward with goals and objectives to kind of keep our industry competitive with everything going on out there.
Okay. And I would like to ask you, I've been in the office with you for a couple of years, and you have a great standing, but for the public that may not know you, give us a little bit of your background, your real estate journey.
Sure. So, I have a story that's kind of, it goes back to my family. So I grew up in a grocery store. I spent 32 years of my life in there, and I watched my family work. And my dad used to tell me, hey, we made nickels and dimes at a time. And I saw how they saved money, and I saw how, strict we were with finances. And my parents were lucky enough to invest. They were invited to invest in some properties with my uncle. And if it wasn't for those investments, my parents would still be working today. They wouldn't be able to retire. So I see what it's done for my family. I see what it can do for my clients. And that's kind of why I'm in here. That's what led me on this journey. What really changed, I was headed for architecture before. when we were selling a piece of property, an agent recommended we sell that property for about half of what I thought it was worth.
Mm.
And I wasn't an agent. I was in college. I spoke up. I got called. I got called greedy. I got called. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm just a kid. I'm going to ruin my family's financial future. But my uncles, my parents listened to me, and it's funny because broker chewed me out. My uncle told him to make the phone call. 5 minutes later, the offer went up 230%.
Wow.
And it was right at what I recommended. So that was my first experience. And I realized, we can't sell people out. This involves, generational wealth. This involves their livelihood, their retirement. And so that led to my journey into real estate.
Wow. Well, thank you. You just kind of highlighted the importance of our core being here. It's not just about us making income. It's about the families, the longevity of those families, and the futures of those family members. So, well said, Mike. Perfectly timed. All right. So, what should we know as we vote for the candidates moving forward for HAR in this election here? What should we keep at the forefront of our minds as we cast this important vote?
Yes, absolutely. So there's actually a page when you log into the members area where you can get a link to all the profiles of everybody running. Some people made videos. A lot of people filled out a profile. What you want to do is take a look at those profiles. Look at the people that are involved and invested in HAR. Their service, and whether it's on committees or tree pack contributions, their contributions to community. You want to make sure that somebody's invested. This is a volunteer position. We're not paid, we're not compensated. We travel out of our own pocket to conventions. So you want to make sure the candidates are there for the right reason. There's a lot of issues coming up, and especially in Houston. One great thing about growth is we've got population growth, so we got traffic. We know about traffic, right? So a big thing I'm working on is reform for TxDOT and how they deal with private property owners.
Okay.
We've also got flooding. I'm working with Harris County Flood Control. So those are the issues that your representative is going to stand for. And you want to make sure that they're standing on the right side and making sure that they're really looking out for the consumers, but also protecting the integrity of our industry.
Excellent. Excellent. Man, I appreciate it. I mean, you really brought clarity to what we should be looking for in the candidates, and that should help us all make the right decision. And we know for our purposes, Mike Wong is the right decision. So everybody be sure to vote and support our own. He's helped us. You come in with a commercial deal, you might not know what to do. Mike is always there, willing to give you a helping hand. So let's always be sure to vote for Mike Wong. Thanks a bunch, Mike.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Keith.
Okay. All right. So before we keep going, let me get order here and give me a minute. Thanks, Mike. All right, so let me make an announcement before we bring our guest on. We, bear with me. We have been nominated to participate in Houston Business Journal's 2020 Best Places to Work. So a survey will be emailed out to everyone in the office. We ask that you complete it. And these awards honor the area's leading companies. Opportunity to highlight KWSW family, our training, the work we do for our clients, and giving back to the community. You'll receive an email today from bestplaces@quantumworkplace.com, inviting you to fill out the survey. Please take 5 to 10 minutes to fill out the survey. Subject line will read, KW Southwest is the best place to work. So please, everyone, participate, complete the survey, It'd be nice to get our company, our office mentioned in the best places, one of the best places to work in Houston. So please participate. Now, let's welcome to our meeting Letitia from Celebrity. Are you with us? Hello. Can you hear me? Let me, bear with me. All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Excellent, excellent. So what do you have for us today?
So I just want to do a couple of things. I want to review, last week I talked about probate. I just want to let everybody know that there is actually a probate class that's now on your calendar for next week. Bond Law Firm will be presenting that for us. It's a 2-hour CE class. You have the option to get your CE credits. So just look for that flyer on your calendar. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is I was kind of listening on a little bit. I cheated and came on the other side and listened to what you guys are speaking about. I want to talk about your contract and title. You know, you guys submit these contracts and everybody knows what it is, the 1 to 4 party contracts. What part of your contract is important for title and to open title? What do we look at your contract when we're filling in those forms and we're making sure all of our, you know, X's are crossed and our T's are crossed? So for us, I want to make sure that you guys are very aware. Your buyer and seller, and first page of your contract for us is the most important. Buyer, seller's names, the way they're written there is how it's going to be written on their deeds. Make sure that that spelling is correct and make sure it's what they have legally. The information about the lots, very important. The sales price, really important for you, really important for us as well. Earnest money, that's where we actually are looking for it to match. So if we have someone who comes in and the earnest money that you have in the contract doesn't match what the check is, that's a red flag for us, and that's when we start making phone calls. So we always look for that information as well. And then of course the title policy, who is going to be paying for that? Pretty much anytime you're writing your contract, anything that has to do with money exchanging and who's paying for what is really important for title. We don't change that information. We cannot modify that information. We just use what you gave us. Closing date, as we all know, we love to close, but that closing date is very important. We look at that information. We stack our calendars based on the closing date. We move people around in our organization to make sure you guys have people who can close on the dates that you're saying that you want to bring people in. The survey, if the survey isn't looking good and we have to order another one, who's paying for that? You know, all that information is really important for us in title. I know it's stuff that you guys all do in these contracts and maybe you're just kind of going through the motions of life, checking boxes and moving forward. But when it comes down to it, we really do pay attention to that, and that's who we charge the monies to. So you always want to make sure that you're filling out that contract to the best ability of what your client wants, because that's what we stick to. We cannot modify it. We cannot change it. We have to go with that. Other expenses, if you're going to contribute any type of monies towards closings, that's important. That comes out on your disclosures as well. And then this is the fun one. Realtors hate to put this information in. What about Section 21, notices to buyers and sellers? You know, nobody wants to put that information in because we don't want our buyers and sellers talking to each other, right? We don't want them to have these little conversations without us. But what ends up happening for us, we have no way to contact your people. You know, it makes it really difficult. That contract comes in, and when we're putting that information in, if you have that information filled out, it makes it one step easier for us. Sometimes we have a phone number, no email, or email, no phone number. You know, think about that. I know we want to keep it all secret. We don't want everybody to talk to each other without us. We want to be the expert. But at the end of the day, when you guys are going forward and you're ready to submit that contract and it's a done deal, make sure you have that information put in. It just makes the transaction go so much easier for title.
Excellent, excellent.
That's
Thank
it.
you so much. If you have anything else, let us know.
What else? Oh, I can go on. Keith, don't give me the floor. Because if you give me the floor, you're done. The HOA information, who's paying for the transfer fee, that's really important. And also your split, y'all, don't forget that information. You know, we pay based on what you submit. If you don't ever submit your information, we look at the contract and we see at that bottom section how much is getting paid to who, and that's all we can do. So if your split isn't right and your money isn't right, there's a chance you probably didn't inform us of what it was supposed to be properly and who was supposed to be paid what. Because we really, like I said, we just go based on the information. We are a facilitator of information. We bring in information, we bring in money, we distribute information, we distribute money. That's what Title does.
Okay.
Hi,
What
Norman.
is the date and time of your class, the probate class?
It's 1 o'clock. So it's a 2-hour class. So it's going to be from 1 to 3 on the 6th. I believe it's the 6th. It's Thursday, the first Thursday of August. I believe that's the 6th.
Okay. Excellent.
So Bond Law Firm, if you've never taken them before, they're really fun. It's 2 different lawyers that are on, so you have 2 personality types. They do a really good job of explaining it. They're actually probate lawyers. So you have a Q&A section. Please come with your questions. They have seen lots of things. One of the lawyers, I believe, has been in business for 40 years. So this is not the first time the rodeo for him. So if you have anything weird that you've come across or you're not really sure, there's definitely a chance for you to speak out and talk with them specifically.
Thank you so much for
You're
being a
welcome.
resource. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Next up, we have Norman Liu, Director of Technology for the entire office. Norman, tell us about your seminar or workshop you're putting on.
All right, guys. So the workshop is coming up this Thursday and Saturday. They're both at from 10 to 12 p.m. Okay. This workshop we're conducting with 3 other KW offices. I know it's the Signature office, the Bryan College Station office, and there's another one that I just can't remember. But we're doing it together, okay? So this is the first of its kind right now that I know of, and I'm very excited. Brian from the Signature office will lead this. I'll be in the background helping agents and chiming in if I need to, but it's a 2-hour class. It's just 2 hours, okay? It's really easy. It's 2 hours. You can choose a Thursday or you can choose the Saturday one, whichever is convenient. What happens here is that we're going to go through a contacts. We're going to do a very simple contacts. We're going to do a condensed version of the smart plans, the opportunities, and then a Facebook ad. And you know what's the best thing about this right now? Our office is offering a $30 credit to agents bills when you go through the class and you complete it and you do a Facebook ad through command, okay? It has to be through command. And then I'm right now tallying up who signed up the first 30 or so. A lot of our agents have signed up. It's very exciting. And so I have to figure out who's the first 30 and, we'll credit you back to your agent bill, your $30 that you spent, okay? So that's very exciting. And I'm looking forward to the 2 classes to help us, okay?
All right, so in the class, so it's virtual, correct? If I have a question, I can interrupt or someone can assist me, kind of get me through. How's that working?
That's a good question. So this will be a webinar format. So what you do is that if you have a question, all you have to do is put it in the Q&A. I'll look at it and hopefully there's another couple of, tech coordinators and they'll be helping answer those questions. Okay, so that's why I'm going to be in the background helping answer questions and helping keep the whole class caught up.
Okay, excellent. So let's bring in Yu Yi.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Let me take something first, okay? Okay, so this month we have the contest again. Looks like Brandy is going to win again. So I just post her email to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy, okay, so I'm going to read it over. I asked the customer information, okay. She say, hi, Yu Yi, I want to introduce you to other of my private clients. We're closing on the new KD home at August 17, 2020, and they will need your assistance in setting up their service. Please see information below, and as always, thanks for taking good care of my clients, Brandy. Okay, she give out the email address. If it's two people, it's better give the 2 email, okay? And then give me the phone number, give me the address, give me the closing date, And she did some action too, tell me how big is the house, how many bedroom and bathroom. The more details, the better. But I mean, at least if I have the closing day address, I can search out the address before I give them the price code. And that's easy because like she, in this 2 months, she gave me 6 referrals. Okay, I closed 5 of them. One is because they have better price. I just told them you go ahead and transfer their old price to the new house. Okay. When you're moving, you don't require to keep the old company, okay? You can switch to other company without cancellation fee by taxes regulation, okay? So this is super. All she need to do is just email me like this, then I will get to contact with the customer. I don't bother her in the middle. I mean, after I'm done, I just text her, oh, I closed this customer for you, and then so it's easy. It's just a simple email like this. You can earn $75. So
Okay,
2 months for five sales, not bad. Plus she won last month for $100. This month looks like she's going to win too because I closed 3 sales for her this month. So,
okay. So what do we need to do in order to be, you know, how, again, put it out there. What do we need to do to reach you? If we have a referral, what's the easiest way for somebody to say, okay, Yu, I need your help? What's the quickest way for them to reach you?
yeah, this is one way. Just email me, and when you email the customer and me together, okay. The other way is just share the contact. Like Brooke, I closed a lot of his referral too, okay.
Okay.
He just share the contact with me. When he share the contact, I have the customer name and phone number. That's all he did. And then, I mean, I can contact the customer, find out the address and closing day and other information. So there's a different way to do it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yu. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you so
Okay. So I don't know if we're going to have anyone from AMCAP jump on. I haven't seen them in the participant group. Are they coming, you know? Okay, well, if not, I have a few announcements myself. So here we go. Bear with me. So we have Chat with Leadership this Friday. So if you have a question for leadership, come with your questions. It could be contract related. It could be just about the office. It could be about the overall marketplace. Be sure to come to Chat with Leadership. It's open for any agent, especially those that are in PC or newer agents. Great way to introduce yourself to the leadership team and get to know us, and we can just have an unfiltered conversation. That is Friday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., and the link is on KWSW25. Be sure to visit that link. Also, my Profit Camp attendees, I have a class I'm teaching called Profit Camp. I have a core group. We're going to be meeting on Thursday from 3:30 to 4:30, but mid-August, I'm going to be taking a new group on. And so we're looking at, the whole purpose is to go through the economic model, the lead generation model. We put all that together to come up and end up with your own balance sheet and profit and loss statement for your particular real estate business. So it helps you become that business owner that Mary Beth specified, to own your business and know what you need to do to make your goals reachable and obtainable, monitor your expenses, cost of sale, all of that. So it brings the MREA, BOLD, and all those classes we've taken together and makes it particular and specific to your business. So I look forward to seeing you. If anyone else has anything or doesn't have anything else, I think that's a wrap for today's team meeting. Done in 50 minutes. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Take care and make it a great day. Bye-bye.